What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Juan Geronimo here, founder of Wall Streams Academy. How is your guys' Christmas vacation, I guess you would say, going on? Hope you guys are enjoying your guys' vacation. And if you guys aren't on vacation yet, but you're going on vacation starting tomorrow, well, I hope you guys enjoy that as well because I know I am. One thing I want to go ahead and say real quick, guys, before I jump into the live training is Merry Christmas to every single one of you guys because tonight is going to be pretty much the only time I see you guys or talk to you guys before I go on vacation and spend my time with my family as well. I'm a big family guy. I love every single holiday because it just allows me to spend time with my family, especially as of the last like 3, 4 years of being an entrepreneur and helping other individuals all across the country start their own ATM business has kept me very busy. So every time I get a time, I get a any excuse to spend time with the family, I take advantage of it. So, real quick, guys, before we go ahead and get started, I hope you guys are ready. You got your pen and paper ready to go because tonight I'm going to be not only giving you guys a bunch of gems on the ATM business and entrepreneurship, but I'm also going to be touching a little bit on limited beliefs because this over this last month, guys, I've been talking to a lot of people, and a lot of people have been dealing with limited beliefs. And I was once, I guess you would say, how can I say, like I had that limited beliefs that ultimately held me back from taking that leap of faith and investing in myself. And I'll be touching a little bit on that as well. And then of course, toward the end of the live, guys, I'll be talking about the most important part of this live training, which is going to be the Christmas discount that I got for you guys. I am super excited because guys, we have completely sold out of every package in any state in the US on the mentorship, guys. So ended off the year at a I had an amazing ending, I guess if you will. And I always like to give back. I always like to help as many people as I can. So what I decided to do was decided to pretty much open up the spot for another 3 people. But because we are all about helping you, we are all about helping you set up your business, find your first location, pretty much help you set everything up from the ground up. I'm going to be giving you a 50% discount. And the reason being is because, guys, we sold out of packages. We've hit our company goals. I've hit my personal goals, right? So I'm going to be pretty much, I guess it's just a way for me to give back to every single one of you guys watching right now as a Christmas gift from me to you. And with that being said, I'll be giving you guys a 50% discount, the biggest discount that I probably ever had and probably will ever have because, like I said, we hit our goals for the year of 2025. Now, reason why it's 50%, a lot of you guys may be wondering right now, like, well, Juan, why is it 50%? Why not 100%? Why don't you just give it to us for free? Well, guys, I'm pretty sure you guys don't like working for free. And I have a full blown team, right? I have a full blown team that's going to be there with you every step of the way and help you guys set up your ATM business as well. So I got to take care of them. But on my end, trust me, guys, this is completely free services, I guess, every single one of you guys that's watching. So before we get into that, let's go ahead and dive into the live training tonight, guys. I want to go ahead and introduce myself to every single one of you guys watching right now. My name is Juan Geronimo. I'm currently based out of Dallas, Texas, if you guys can't already tell with the skyline behind me. And pretty much I've been an ATM business owner for about 6 years now. I started in January of 2020, which is next month. It'll be 6 years as an ATM business owner. And it's been a heck of a journey, guys. It's been a heck of a journey. I can't tell you guys how many times I've had people tell me, like, what, you own an ATM business? And we're in 2025 going into 2026. And I say, yes. Surprisingly, cash is still around. And based on my experience, guys, based on my research, cash is not going away anytime soon, guys. Cash is still king. So with that being said, guys, over the last 6 years of being an entrepreneur, an ATM business owner, and building passive income for me and my family, I've been able to grow my ATM business to over 50 ATMs. I've been able to generate passive income more than I could have ever imagined. And now what I'm doing is I'm helping individuals just like yourself learn how to start your own ATM business for free, which is why you guys are watching for free, right? And of course, for every single one of you guys that want more one-on-one experience, one-on-one mentorship, then you guys can always reach out to me and I'd be more than happy to walk you guys through what my coaching program looks like and, see if we're ultimately a good fit for you guys. But enough of that. Let's go ahead and jump into the live training, guys. So for every single one of you guys watching right now, you guys are watching for one reason, and that is because, unlike everyone else that is enjoying this vacation and going out to the clubs and going out to party and wasting their money, wasting their time on a bunch of BS, you guys watching right now are the reason why entrepreneurs, which in this case is you, aspiring entrepreneurs, make it out of the rat race, right? Because you are the 1% of the people that want to start a business, the people that want to make it out of the rat race, that actually make it out. Because even on days like this, when most people are spending time with their family or most people are spending time out enjoying the vacation, you guys are still here watching people like myself ramble about business, ramble about some sort of business model or niche that you guys are interested in. So hats off to every single one of you guys watching right now. Not a lot of people are doing what you guys are doing right now, which is learning, investing in yourself, using your time wisely, to rather than scroll through TikTok and Instagram, you guys are actually learning, right? So let's get into the learning, right? Now, starting an ATM business in 2026, guys. January is right around the corner, literally a few days away. If you guys want to be able to start off the year of 2026 building a business, generating passive income, these are the exact step by steps that you guys need to follow, right? And I can't express this enough, guys. And I'll kind of skim through the basics because I know a lot of you guys already know the basics. I really want to dive into how I was able to overcome the limited belief, but most importantly, overcome the fear of going out and putting myself out there, right? Because a lot of people, especially nowadays, right, with this whole social media, going on, everybody wants to kind of hide behind the screen and take the easy route, right? But I always like to say that you have to throw yourself in the fire, and ultimately learn the old school way, right? Because otherwise, when you try to market, when you try to sell, when you try to do anything over the phone or online or through email, it's going to be a lot easier to already understand what you think people are going to say. How do you think people are going to act or react, right? So, number one, forming your company basics, right? Number one is forming your company. We already gone through that. If you guys want to know step by step on how to set up an LLC or just set up a business in general for your ATM business, go to my Facebook page, go to my YouTube channel. I give you the step by step on how to do all that, right? The next step is the bank, right? Again, same thing. I've already gone through all of that in previous pieces of content. So just go to my YouTube channel or my Facebook group and you guys can learn how to do that. Step three, processor, same thing. Four, finding the location, right? In 2026, guys, as a cash only business, right? A lot of you guys may be surprised as well. Cash only, what? There's not really many cash only businesses out there. That's a lie, guys. There is. There is still cash only businesses out there. Are they more available like they were back then? No. But that doesn't mean that there still isn't businesses out there that would prefer cash or are only cash only, right? So essentially what you got to do is you got to put yourself out there, right? You got to go out there. You got to go speak to the business owners, right? You got to go hand out the business cards. You got to go hand out those brochures, right? Putting yourself out there is going to be the best way that you're going to be able to learn how to market, right? How to overcome that fear, right? Because whenever I started 6 years ago, my biggest fear, guys, was not knowing how to speak to people, right? I can't tell you guys how many times I would go into a business and I would turn bright red or I would start to stutter. I didn't know how to start. I didn't know how to open the conversation. And the only way I was able to learn, guys, is by continuing to do it. I remember there was a few times in my journey as an ATM business owner, right, where I went into the business and as soon as I walked into the front door, I looked around and I kind of played this out like if I was a customer. I would look around and I already knew like I'm gonna fuck this up. Pardon my French, guys. I was like, I'm gonna fuck this up. So I would walk right back out. Right? I would walk right back out. And for the first 6 months of being an ATM business owner, I would always do that. I would always find myself in a position where I would walk into the business, I wasn't feeling it, or I just thought that I was gonna screw everything up. I would walk right back out of the business. Sometimes I would drive from literally my home to prospect a few locations. And as soon as I got there, I felt like I was going to fuck things up. So I didn't do it. I left. I was like, man, screw this. I'll try again tomorrow. And that right there, guys, is the main reason why a lot of people fail. That's the main reason why a lot of people don't even take the first step. Why a lot of people aren't able to overcome that limited belief or that fear is because they don't put themselves out there. You have to be willing to put yourself out there. You have to be willing to try, right? Because it's like riding a bike. When you first jump on a bike, you're not going to learn how to ride, right? You're going to maybe lose balance. You're maybe going to fall over, but you got to get back up and keep trying. You got to get back up and keep paddling, right? Learn how to paddle and hold your balance at the same time. Same thing with literally your business, right? You have to go, you have to learn how to go in there, how to open up the conversation, how to say hi, how to pitch, right? And a lot of you guys right now watching, you guys may be comfortable, you guys may be the most confident person in the world, right? So all you have to do is just keep doing that and then add to your pitch. And that's ultimately how I was able to overcome that fear, right? That fear, the limited belief of not being able to do it. Once you guys start to do that, you guys, I mean, I can't explain to you guys how easy it becomes, because at that point, you guys have to now just learn your pitch. How are you going to walk into the business and offer a service that will ultimately solve somebody's problem? That would be the next issue, right? Or the next solution, if you will, for the business, right? So again, location is key. And just like any other business, guys, if you don't find a good location, then you're not going to make money. It's just like real estate. It's just like merchant services. It's just like the vending machine business. If you do not find a good location, you're not going to make money, right? So finding a location is super important. And when it comes to finding a location for your ATM business, the main thing that you guys want to look for is high traffic, right? High traffic, a busy area, right? Whether it's on a busy road, on the side of the highway, somewhere where a lot of people are walking through that business or any surrounding businesses around it, right? Or particularly businesses where it's high in demand for cash, right? So, for example, a lot of clubs, a lot of bars, right? A lot of the bartenders, right? They want to get tipped, and a lot of them would like to get tipped cash, right? The best way to scale your business, an ATM business, is by targeting businesses like that, where people are going to be encouraged to use your ATM, pull out cash for the whatever the case may be, right? Gentlemen's clubs, right? Those are great locations. So scaling the business, all you guys have to do is find the right location, do the market research, right? Making sure that the area is hot, making sure a lot of people are walking by, and then of course walking into the business, putting yourself in a position where a business owner is going to want to sit down and talk to you for the next 5 minutes and hear you out on what you have to say. That is the best way on how every single one of you guys is going to be able to land a deal. And guys, I'm going to tell you right now, from my experience, you're not going to be able to just walk in the first location and close it, right? You're not going to be able to walk into the first location and get a yes from the owner. I can tell you from experience, you're probably going to be dealing with a lot of rejections from the businesses that you prospect before you finally get a yes. And again, guys, that is part of the business. That is part of the entrepreneurship, right? You're not going to be able to close everybody. You're not going to be able to, have a solution for everybody, which is why you have to put yourself out there, which is why you have to stay consistent. Because I probably had to reach out to 50 different people before I got my first yes, right? And one thing I will say is there's no such thing as 100% success rate, whether you're a salesperson, whether you're a business owner. You're not going to walk into every door and close every deal. So you have to be ready to take a no. You have to be ready to get hit with objections. My video is lagging. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys see me? Sorry if my video is lagging. It looks good on my end. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys see me okay? My hair's all messed up on the back over here. Uh, I know my TikTok can hear me because I'm using the phone, but my IG, if you guys, all right, I think we're good. Yeah, I know TikTok's good, but for some reason, um, my Facebook is not. My Facebook and my YouTube channel is not. Let me see. All right, guys. I think we're good. Hopefully we're good. All right, my man Alex says we're good. All right, good, good. All right, guys. So, um, hey, actually, Alex, shout out to you, man. You kind of gave me this idea to talk about, right? Because I get a lot of young people that reach out to me, and a lot of young people are like, "Man, I'm trying to go through college. My parents they're telling me that they don't want me to start a business right now, to go to college, to get a degree, and so on and so forth." And guys, I get that. I was there, right? The American dream to most people, especially a lot of immigrants, a lot of people that come from immigrant families, right? People, our parents, well, my parents would tell me all the time, we came to the US so that you can go to school, so that you can get a good paying job, so that you don't work your ass off in the sun, in construction, right? Hard labor jobs. We came to the US so that you can go to school and get out of this, out of this hard labor, work, right? And a lot of our parents, right? They want us to go to college, right? They want us to get an education, and there's nothing wrong with that, guys. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But one thing I will say is when I started my business back in January of 20, I was 22 at the time, right? I had two options, right? I either keep going to school, right, and keep getting into debt, right, college debt, and going through classes, trying to get a degree, and then graduate, and then come back home and get a good paying job, or start a business. And then after I start my business, literally go all in and make it work, right? Because at the end of the day, there's, it's just like going to college, right? The only way you're going to fail is if you don't try. Same thing applies with business. The only way that your business will fail is if you don't try, right? So I decided, you know what? I'm in a position where I can go to school, right? I got a good paying job. I can fund my own school. Or I'm also in a good position to start my own business and then fund my business with my good paying job and then just go all in on my business. Well, guys, whenever I looked at both and I realized that college was 5 times more than starting my business, obviously, you guys know what I went with, right? I started my own business. And the reason being, guys, is because I looked at it from a pro and con perspective, right? The pros of going to school, you're getting a degree, you're going to have a piece of paper that's always going to be there for you. You're going to have a piece of paper that's going to allow you to get a job, right? And ultimately have income. The cons about it is that you're going to still work for somebody. You're going to be at a cap on how much you're going to make, and then on top of that, you still have to rely on somebody giving you a job, hiring you, right? As opposed to, you know, going the entrepreneurship route, right? Starting your own business. The pros is, number one, it's less than college. Number two, you work at your own schedule, right? Number three, you're building a business that's going to be there for you and your family for the rest of your life. So I looked at it that way, right? The cons is that, you know, you get unlucky, you did everything you could, and you just couldn't get the business to work out, right? And there's one thing that Alex Hermosi used to tell me all the time, right? Alex, not tell me. I say that because I watch these guys on social media all the time. And ultimately, a big reason why I decided to start my business is, inspiration from Alex Hermosi, right? A lot of entrepreneurs, right? Like the Ty Lopez back in the day. And one thing Alex Hermosi said at the time when I used to follow him and watch damn near every video was the worst thing that can happen as an entrepreneur is that you give it all you can, you invest everything you can, you put in all the time, you literally try, and it doesn't work out. And the worst thing that can happen is you just go back to what you were doing, which is working a 9 to 5. You stack up more money, and then you try again something else, right? The worst that can happen is that it doesn't work out, right? But at least one thing will come out of that, fail, if you want to call it, is that you will learn what not to do next time. You will learn how to avoid certain mistakes you've already committed, and that's literally the exact, like I call it advice, even though he didn't give it to me personally. That's literally the piece of information that I took and really stuck with me. And that's what I would tell myself all the time, because I would always have a lot of people tell me, Juan, ATMs, cash is going away. What if you get robbed? What if your ATM gets broken into? Cash is gonna be gone. No one really uses cash, right? I would hear, that coming in from left and right, right? And I would always tell myself all the time, well, if it doesn't work out, at least I tried, right? But I will never know if it works out if I don't actually try. So what I did was I tried. I took the leap of faith. I invested in myself. I started my business, and here I am, guys, 6 years later with over 50 ATMs, literally living somewhere as they say, right, somewhere up in the sky, right? Never in a million years did I think that I would be paying, 4 times someone's monthly, mortgage or rent, as an entrepreneur. Never in a million years. I thought I was stuck with a 9 to 5. I thought the best that was for me was freaking working construction, which is what I was good at, right? So whenever I started my business and I started to see, one ATM, two ATMs, three ATMs making me passive income, and I started to, realize that it wasn't really that difficult, I was like, man, I'm just gonna go all in. I'm gonna give it my all. I'm gonna invest everything that I can. And guys, I'm living proof, guys. I'm living proof. The only entrepreneur that came out of my family, and now I'm blessed to be able to motivate my family and motivate every other person that watches me on starting their own business. So enough of me yapping, guys. I know I yap a lot. Shit, my bad. Going into the Christmas special, right? I don't want to take a lot of your guys' time. I know you guys want to get back to your family. I know you guys want to enjoy, this Christmas vacation. So I'll go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of this Christmas special. Like I said earlier during this live training, guys, we have completely sold out of all of our packages inside of our coaching program for the ATM business. Now, out of a big thank you, and also to give back to you guys watching right now as a Christmas gift from me to you, I want to go ahead and offer. I'm thinking 3 spots, but I might extend it depending on if you guys actually want to take advantage of this right now before the year starts. Because what better way to start the year of 2026 if it isn't with you taking action and starting your business, right? So again, going back, I completely sold out of all my packages for my coaching program. And what I do is I help people start their ATM business and hand hold them through the whole process. Now, because I've sold out, the team and I, we're going to enjoy the rest of December, enjoy Christmas, right? Have fun with our family, and see come back January, right? But I have a lot of people still reaching out to me. I have a lot of people still messaging me. I have a lot of people that still have questions. They want to start a business. So, what better way than to finish the rest of December by giving every single one of you guys 50% off of my coaching program if you want to work with me on a one-on-one basis, right? And as a Christmas present from me to you, help you build your ATM business at 50% of the cost, right? So for every single one of you guys watching right now, and I'm sorry to all the people that worked with me in the past that are barely seeing this now, guys, I didn't even know I was going to do this. I did it. But we're doing it. It's here, right? So for every single one of you guys watching right now, you guys have until December 26th, the day after Christmas, right? To reach out. Let me know if you guys want to work with me. What I will do for every single one of you guys right now, we've completely sold out of the packages, right? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to literally pay my team, right? I'm going to pay my team extra to be able to come in during the holidays and still find every single one of you guys a location. Because my goal is to be able to help you start within 30 to 60 days with your ATM business. And the first thing that we're going to do, guys, is on week 1 is going to be helping you set up your LLC and your EIN. Once we receive the company details, the next step is going to be finding you your bank. Because in the ATM business, you can't just work with any bank. It has to be an ATM business from the bank. So what I will do for you is I will give you a bank that's in your market that will work with you. So that once we open up your bank, which is typically in week 2, when we move into week 3, I will connect you with my free processing. So that all of you guys right now watching, if you guys process with me and my team, you will keep 100% of your profits. Meaning, literally, if your ATM makes $300, $400, $500, you will keep 100% of that. We will not take anything from you, and that's just what we do. Also, that's for every ATM. It's not just for your first one. It's for every single ATM. And a lot of people watching right now, might be wondering, do I own the ATM? Do I own my portfolio? Yes, we do not own anything. We just come in and show you and guide you and connect you to the right people so that you're able to get your ATM business up and running and then get to the point where you're making passive income, where you're financially free and you're helping your family. Maybe next year for Christmas, your ATMs are buying your Christmas presents. You don't actually have to buy them yourself. So I will not only connect you with our free processing, you would get the best pricing on ATMs, but most importantly, guys, like I said, I'm going to be paying my team overtime to go out and find you your first location. I will find you your first location within 30 to 60 days. Sometimes it takes us a little more depending on your market, right? And once we find you your first location, we will get your contract signed for you so that all you have to do is get your ATM that you order at wholesale price because you work with us and you just go install it. That's how I'm able to come in, hold your hand, make sure you don't make any mistakes, and then successfully set up your ATM business and then show you how to scale, right? So that you can implement everything that you've learned inside of my program into your business so that eventually you can grow to 10, 20, 30, 40 ATMs or even more. So that's pretty much the full process on how I can come in and help you out. How I'll be able to pretty much give you the mentorship at 50% discount. So all you guys have to do for every single one of you guys that are watching, shoot me a DM me the word Christmas, right? DM me the word Christmas, and we'll go ahead and jump on a informational call. I jump on Zoom calls pretty much every day with a bunch of people, and I would walk you through what my program looks like step by step. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, so be it, right? At least you guys have these live trainings that you guys can use. But enough of that, guys. If you guys have any questions, I do got about maybe 10 minutes to answer some Q&A, some questions. So go ahead and drop it down below if you guys have any questions. And of course, I'd be more than happy to help you guys out. Let me look through my IG real quick. My mouse isn't working for some reason. Alrighty, let me see. Any questions, guys? Any questions? My boy Alex says some ATMs make more than doctors. Most individuals who have a degree. That's right, man. That's right. The closest that I've been to making six figures a year was when I was working in the oil fields. I know there's doctors out there making six figures, lawyers, and even other professions, other businesses that make 100 or more six figures a year. But the difference between a doctor, the difference between a lawyer, right, compared to me, is that they have to show up. They have to still go to work, right? I put an ATM or two in a few businesses nearby. I fill it up with some cash, and I chill at home. I go with my girls on vacation. I do literally absolutely nothing, and my ATMs are consistently making me money, right? So the only difference between 9 to 5 professionals, right, W-2 professionals, anybody within, I guess you would say, a labor job or within, a degree, they have to still work. They have to still work for somebody. They have to still show up. I, in this case, can sit back. I'm literally sitting here on a live training with you guys while my ATMs are out there making me passive income. That's the difference, right? So it's not about, making the most money. It's about making passive income and then becoming financially free. Because even when I was working in the oil fields of West Texas and I was making damn near six figures a year, I had to work 20 days out of the 30 days of the month. I had to work 20 days. I would only come back home for 8 days and I would be working for 20 days. I wasn't seeing family, right? I was busting my ass most of the time throughout the year. But that's what came with that profession, right? So then whenever I started to make what I was making in the oil fields with my ATM business, I was like, damn man, I can't believe I was busting my ass in the oil fields making, 7, 6, 8 grand a month, and now I'm doing this with an ATM business, right? So again, guys, it's not about how much you're making from your job or how much you make from your profession. It's not how much, it's how you make it, right? Because the only way that you're going to be financially free is if you can generate a decent amount of passive income to cover your cost of living, right? Rich Dad Poor Dad. That book couldn't have done it any better, right? Shout out to Robert. He explains the difference between having assets and having liabilities, right? That's the difference, guys. Exactly. You got to learn a skill, and then you got to have that skill make you money. Exactly, Alex. Exactly, brother. I texted you. Sounds good. I will get back to you guys as soon as I can. I want to get into the ATM industry, but I don't know if it's difficult to run. It's not difficult, man. It's not difficult. I wasn't the smartest person in school, and I'm able to run the business, right? It doesn't require brains. It doesn't require hard work. It's super super simple to start a business like an ATM business and run it. And then of course, I mean, you guys don't understand the details now. You guys don't understand what it takes to start an ATM business now because you guys aren't actually in the business yet, right? Which is why you have to invest in yourself. You have to invest your time. You have to invest your money, right, into mentorships, into schools, into something, right? Because it's just like learning anything else, right? If you don't know how to bake a cake, you're not just gonna it's not just going to pop up into your head and, you're going to learn or understand how to bake a cake. You're going to watch YouTube, right? So you're investing your time into a YouTube video, right? Or you're going to take a cooking class, right? You're going to invest your money into the cooking class. If you watch a YouTube video, you could follow this step by step, but they might not give you, you got to bake, for this time, or you got to put in a certain amount of, teaspoons or whatever. Most videos do that, right? But we're talking about baking a cake. We're not talking about building a business, right? If you go to cooking school, they're going to teach you the fundamentals on why using baking powder, why using a certain amount of salt or whatever the case may be, right? So you're going to learn more fundamentals when you invest into something than when you just sit around, watch YouTube all day and get a recipe, right? So that's the difference, guys. And that kind of applies with entrepreneurship. That kind of applies with business. You could invest your time and watch all the YouTube videos that you can, all the live trainings that you can, all the courses, mini courses, and free, content that you can. But you still have to put the puzzle together. You still have to understand the fundamentals of running the business, which is where investing in yourself comes into play. Most of my students never have to worry about the fundamentals. Most of my students never have to worry about the details about starting an ATM business or running an ATM business because all they do is follow my exact blueprint. And that's the difference between the people that invest in themselves and the people that watch YouTube and try to learn from YouTube. Because a YouTube guru is only going to tell you, hey, here's how to do it. Boom, 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 boom. But you still have to figure out how he was able to even get to step one, how he was able to even get to step two. And that's the difference between investing your time and investing your money. When you invest your time, it's going to take you longer. When you invest your money, it's going to take you less time because you're buying into a proven system. You're buying into a proven plan. My girlfriend has been telling me to give it a shot. Then what's the holdup, man? I live in LA and I don't know where to buy an ATM machine. Again, this kind of goes back to the fundamentals, guys. You know, if you really want to figure out where to buy an ATM, you can literally look up an ATM or look up ATM or where can I buy an ATM, and you would find a bunch of companies on Google. Like if you really wanted to do that, you can do that. Do I recommend you do that? No. There's a lot of companies out there that will literally take advantage of you, put you under contract, upsell these ATMs. I mean, they will put you in a position where you don't want to be in, right? So again, going back to what I was talking about, right? If you actually want to start this business, if you actually want to start generating passive income, then the best thing that you can do is reach out to somebody, invest in yourself. Don't be afraid to invest in yourself. People, I mean, all year round, go to college and don't think twice about being in debt for $100,000 over the next 5 years, right? To go get a degree to get paid $30,000, $40,000 a year, $60,000 a year, right? In salary or whatever, right? People don't think about that, right? And then you got the other side, right? Of people who aren't afraid to invest 10,000, 15,000, $20,000 in themselves to build a business where they can then use that business to generate the same amount that someone with a degree would. And I can tell you guys, not from experience, but I have people that I work with that are professionals that have gotten a degree, right? I have one particular student that I can think of right now from the top of my mind. He's in San Antonio. He has this PMB, right? He's a project manager for a multi-million dollar company, making about 110, $120,000 a year. And just because he was able to do that, right? Doesn't mean that, oh, I don't have to start a business. He still started his business because he knew that without that job, he wasn't making that, right? He knew that at any moment that job lays him off, he wouldn't have that paycheck anymore. So he realized that he had to build something for himself. And that's why he took that leap. That's why he invested into himself. He started working with me. Now he has over, I want to say 2 dozen ATMs, making him passive income, making him almost the same amount that he is currently making as this 9 to 5. He's literally at the point where he's almost about to replace his 9 to 5 income with a passive income stream. So, guys, it's completely up to you, right? I mean, you are the one in charge. You are the one that makes this decision on whether you actually want to start or not. It's not going to make a difference to me. It's not going to make a difference to everybody else that's watching. It's you. It's you against you. And as long as you are willing to take that leap, as long as you are willing to invest in yourself, then there's no reason for you to fail. But you have to have skin in the game, guys. You have to have skin in the game. I know Christmas is coming up and you guys are buying Christmas gifts, right? But there was a point where whenever I started my business, I had to sacrifice buying Christmas presents for my family because I wanted to invest in myself. I wanted to start my business. And now I have my ATMs buying Christmas presents for my family, right? For every year to come. And that's just one of the sacrifices that you have to be willing to take. Hey man, Osvaldo, it's never too late. He said, I wish I would have known more about this whenever I was younger. It's never too late. I have clients all the time that get started and they're in their 40s and their 50s that start their business because they realize that they still have a lot to live for. They still have a lot of time left. And the last thing that they want to do is spend the next 15, 10 years of their life continuing to work a 9 to 5, getting to the age of 65 to retire, and then depending on, you know, a government paycheck, right? A government check. So it's never too late, man. It is never too late. What's up, Jesus? How's it going, brother? But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the live training, guys. Again, I won't see you guys probably until I think next week on Tuesday is when I'll be going live on here again. So for all of you guys that are watching, if you guys are interested, you guys actually want to make this change, you guys want to jump into the year of 2026 without the thought of, oh my god, I don't have anything, oh my god, I don't have a business, I'm going to work as soon as this vacation is up, then go ahead and start your business, right? Even if it's just investing in yourself and understanding and learning a business, as long as you're making progress, right? Because it's all about getting momentum. As long as you get momentum, guys, nothing's going to hold you back. But you have to be willing to take that leap. You have to be willing to jump. If you don't jump into it, you're never going to do it. And I can tell you right now, there's no such thing as a perfect time. No such thing. How do you structure revenue splits with the business owner, and what terms should I never agree to? I mean, when you start your business and you're giving a split to the owner, the one thing that you want to do, right, when giving a split to the owner is obviously provide them a solution to whatever problem they're having, or provide them a pitch where you're providing them a service, because you are a service-based business as an ATM business owner. You're providing them a service where they don't necessarily need a split from you, right? I go into every single business that I speak to, and I always offer the service and how the service is going to make them money or save them money, so that whenever it comes down to signing the agreement, they're not worried about how much they're making, because they already understand what they're saving. They already understand what they're really making or what they're really putting back into their pocket by working with me. That's exactly how I go in and I speak to the owners. I don't go in by being like, "Hey, I got an ATM. Can I put it in your business and I'll give you $1 per transaction?" That's the lazy way of landing deals. And if you go about that route, you're going to lose more money because you're offering 33% of your profit if you're charging, 30, yeah, 33%, right? Of your profit if you're if you're charging $3. So you always want to go into the business and already have an idea of how you can help them. If you already have an idea of how you're going to help the business, right? Whether it's more foot traffic, whether it's less credit card processing fees, right? By offering a cash discount with your ATM, where if they pay with cash, they get some sort of discount, right? By offering those services, and letting the business owner know, hey, I'm going to save you money, or I'm going to make you more money, or help you put more money back into your pocket, back into your business. As long as you can come in with that idea, but they're not going to want to split. They're just going to want to work with you. They're going to want to know more about your service. So that's how I approach businesses. I don't go into a business and, hey, can I put an ATM and I'll give you $1, right? Because again, like I've said plenty of times in the past, nobody wants an ATM. What they want is to save money or make money. They want some sort of benefit for their business. And if you can provide a benefit for their business, they wouldn't see why not working with you, right? So you just have to be able to provide them some sort of solution, some sort of reason for them to want to work with you. Yeah, the question you get it is what's in it for me. A lot of people do that, guys. You have to understand, business owners, they're in business for a reason. They're not in business to lose money. They're not in business to get taken advantage of. They're business owners just like we are, right? They want to make as much money as they can, just like we do, right? They want to save as much money as they can, just like we do. They got a family to feed, just like we do. They got to pay bills, just like we do, right? So when it comes to speaking with the owner, and then you get hit with what's in it for me, be like, look, Tom across the street started working with us while using Square, and he started pushing a cash discount where if you pay with cash, you get a discount. And he started pushing more people to the ATM, and now he's saving an extra $500, an extra $1,000 a month in credit card processing fees. That's an additional $6,000 to $12,000 a year that they're saving in credit card processing fee because of the ATM that I put inside of the business. So what you're getting is you're saving money, right? Or you're making money, or you're putting more money back into your pocket. That's what's in it for you, right? And that's how you're ultimately going to structure the pitch, guys. You have to figure out what it is that they're going through, what it is that they're dealing with, and how you can solve it. If you can figure out that issue, right? If you could figure out that little stubborn, uh, uh, um, what am I looking for? How when you guys get a little splinter and you can't see it and it's bugging you, right? If you could figure out what that is for their business, right? And you could figure out how to get rid of it. That's the what is in it for me. That's what it is, right? That's how you're gonna overcome that. What about electrical energy? An ATM, even if it's doing 200 transactions a month, which is above average, it still takes up less than $5 a month in electricity. An ATM doesn't take up a lot of electricity. I know an ATM is big and bulky, but literally the only thing using power on that ATM is that little screen. So it's like charging your cell phone. It doesn't require a lot of power, a lot of energy. Does this method work in other countries? No, only USA and Canada can start an ATM business. Only US and Canada can start an ATM business for right now, at least. Do you have a contract that I can buy? I don't sell my contract, but every single student of mine does get the contract included. So I guess you could buy it if you work with my program, but it is confidential information only for my clients. So if you are a client of mine, you get my contracts, you get my processing, you get my banks, you get my location team, you get everything. You don't just get a contract. And no, you cannot buy a contract only from me. All right, guys, I gotta jump on a call in 3 minutes. So if you guys want to jump on a Zoom call with me, if you guys would like to set up a one-on-one call with me where we'll go over a plan on how I can help you set up your business and ultimately help you finish this year off strong by taking the leap, by starting your business and starting the year of 2026 by generating some passive income, guys, then go ahead and don't drop anything in the comments. Shoot me a DM. Shoot me a DM with Christmas special. Shoot me a DM with Christmas special, and I will go ahead and reply, of course, and then set up a call with you guys on Zoom. So shoot me a DM, Christmas special, and I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can. All right. I'll see you guys next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Peace.